I would rather be an atheist than a Christian any day of the week. Now that's not me saying religion and Christianity is evil, because it's not. But here's the truth that they don't want you to know. That everything outside of you is a reflection of your own consciousness and your own mind. Life is a mental game. And if you believe in a deity outside of you, all of the negative things that happens in your life, and you blame it on God or this devil or these spirits outside of you, then you're not taking accountability for the destruction and the evil that you have manifested in your own reality. Your life is just a result of every thought you thought in the past. Life is a mental construct. Whatever you condition your mind to is what you will see reflected in your external world, your friends, your relationships. Your relationship with your internal self, the body and the mind, is the same relationship that you will have with people. If you do not follow through with the things that you're going to say, then you will never follow through with your relationships and be a man of your word. Life is a reflection of your own consciousness. There is no one outside of you manipulating your reality. There's no God, no Satan trying to manipulate and change your life. God is within you.
You ever wondered why, if you minus all of the numbers on a clock, it adds up to 6? Well, here's why.
6 is the number of time, space and matter. 60 minutes in an hour, 60 seconds in a minute, and 24 hours in a day. 2 plus 4 equals 6. That's 666. The cube has 6 sides, and this is the geometric shape that gives rise to physical matter. 666 is 3 sixes. 3 represents thought, emotion, action. These are the 3 aspects of creation. 666 is the beast. You are the beast when your thought, emotion, action is only going towards your physical reality, cutting you off from your spirituality. And then you become the beast. That's why 666 is 3 sixes. Now you know why you see 666 absolutely everywhere. It symbolizes worshipping this physical plane. And this physical plane is governed by the god of time. And time is governed by Father Saturn. This Freemason is going viral by him exposing the black sun at the center of the earth. You're probably wondering, what is the black sun? It's the source of all physical creation, which projects the northern lights. Earth is electromagnetic. Your body is electromagnetic. You are a mini Earth. Your heart is connected to the Earth's heart, the black sun. Your heart is not a pump, it's a vortex energy generator, which takes the energy of the Earth's source and turns it into plasma in the blood to run the physical body, also creating your electromagnetic aura. The northern lights is the energy the Earth gives out to feed every living being. We are all directly connected with the earth in our hearts. Maybe this is why the word earth is heart rearranged. The earth is green, just like the heart chakra. The sky is blue, just like the throat chakra. Blue comes after green. You are a fractal of the earth, a microcosm of the macrocosm. Your consciousness is heaven and your body is the earth. And space is a lie with 0 evidence. You never came from a monkey. You are intelligently designed. Your life has a great meaning. You're in a beautiful experience called life, which is an anagram for file. The body is the technology to experience this reality. The soul is the true you, the I within you. Stay wise, people. You are the universe. Rivers are veins. Rocks are the bones. Soil is the flesh. The 7 planets are the 7 chakras. They're also on your hand, which I can't talk about on here. You have 5 fingers for the 5 elements. 5 points on the body for the 5 elements you're made out of. The jaw is the earth, water is the mouth, air is the nose, and fire is the eyes, and spirit is the 3rd eye. The sun is your conscious mind. The moon is your subconscious mind, thoughts and emotions. Earth is your body, water is your emotions, fire is your spirit, and air is your mind. This is why the Bible has 4 Gospels to show Jesus in the 4 aspects of human consciousness: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. 12 systems in the body, 12 zodiac signs. Kneecaps for Capricorn. 2 feet are the 2 fish of Pisces. The cerebellum is the cerebellum, the lower brain ruled by Taurus. Cerebrum, which is the Lamb of God, which is the Aries. Hips means hippo, which means horse, which is Sagittarius. The 4 seasons of the sun happen inside of you. In summer, we are more happy and we have more energy. In winter, we are more reflective and emotional. It's a soul system, and these cycles happen within your consciousness, not just outside of you. You are the 13th constellation. 13 adds up to 4, the 4 aspects of consciousness. 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. They're called organs because they're organisms. Your body's a miniature universe, and you, the consciousness, the mind, are the voice of God. This book will make you feel so much better once you understand this. I will never recover from these images that I've just found. Giants definitely existed. Take a look at the size of these people only around 100 years ago. Now imagine the size of these people around 500 years ago or 1,000 years ago. They would have been 10 times bigger than this. The oxygen levels were way higher 1,000 years ago, so just imagine the size of these people. Now what I'm going to show you at the end is going to blow your mind. I think these people were purposely wiped out. Why do we not see them now? What happened to their genetics? Why have they not reached this generation? One thing that you may have not noticed, which is the fashion these people are wearing. Why has humanity lost their sense of beauty and classiness? I have yet to see one obese person in any of these images, which is absolutely crazy. They all look healthy, well-informed, and well-mannered. Humanity has truly lost their ways. Now take a look at this. Maybe this is why the Egyptians showed giant people in their artwork, and maybe their statues were the true size of these humans. I thank you all for being part of this journey. I've now hit 1 million followers on TikTok. There are 3 aspects of your consciousness: thoughts, emotions, and actions. If you align them all towards your goals, you will create the reality that you want. To celebrate, use the code WISDOM for 40% off the Book of Wisdom or anything in the store. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Jesus never turned water into wine. This is gonna blow your mind. Jesus spoke all things to the crowd in parables. Matthew 13:34. It's a symbolic and allegorical story about you turning water into wine. Fire is masculine. Water is feminine. Masculine is intellect. Feminine is emotion. Water is symbolic for emotion. Thoughts are the language of the mind. Emotion is the language of the soul. Emotions are communication from your soul. If you are jealous of someone, this is your soul telling you where you need to be in life. Every fear you have is showing you an obstacle for you to grow, to expand into your life purpose. Water into wine, symbolic in turning negative emotions into growth and expansion, transmuting hate into love, jealousy into your reality. Jesus represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness in physical form. Jesus tells you, whatever I can do, you can do better in John 14:12. Jesus is you. Baptism is symbolic of moving from earth into water, the second stage of consciousness, truth. Dunking your head in water won't do anything. Baptism happens within. Everything is red and blue because it symbolizes the physical world. Democrats are blue and Republicans are red. Red tap and a blue tap. A red pill and a blue pill. They want you to believe that this is the real model of the atom because they want you to believe everything is only physical, when in fact everything is holographic, produced by electromagnetic torus fields. The electron, the proton, and the neutron. Magnetism radiates, which creates an electrical vibrational phenomena. That's why you see electrical patterns everywhere in nature. The spiral outwards is redshift. The spiral back in is blue shift. And these two polarized electromagnetic flows is what gives birth to physical matter. That's why we see red and blue symbolized everywhere. Roses are red, violets are blue. Phi symbol is a torus field. Physical is phi cycle. We live in the cycle of an electromagnetic torus field. You are a giant atom. That's why you have an anatomy. You are an atom. As above, so below. Inside my university, I have a whole section on electromagnetism being made by divine being. He's going to be breaking it down from the basics to the most advanced. If you are serious about studying the occult and the esoteric, then the university is for you. You get a library filled with PDF books on occultism, a section filled with all of my occult lectures, a manifestation mastery course on how consciousness creates reality, and CIA tapes on how to astral project using hemisync methods. Plus, we do live discussions and Q&As. We have students who are live on a daily basis you can connect with. The link is in my bio to join. You are God. Everything physical began as a thought. This pencil, this book, this keyboard all began as a thought in the mind. The world around you is the effect of God's mind. He thought this reality into existence. You are living in the mind of God. You are a thought in the mind of God. You possess a mind, a fractal of God's mind. Just like God thought this reality into existence, you are a smaller version of God and you use your mind to bring thought into physical reality. It's a fractal repeating process of manifestation. You're probably thinking, well, what does this mean? This means you are a creator. You are a magician bringing non-physical thoughts into tangible reality. It means God is not in the sky, and God is someone who can't save you. You save yourself by mastering your mind, because your mind can be a prison and it can be hell if you live in negative mind states. Every religion stems from self-mastery of the mind. By cleansing the mind and purifying your mental state and gaining full control over your mind, you can consciously direct thoughts and energy to the things you want to create in your life, instead of wasting all of your mind's energy on lust, food, and low-level pleasures. The name, the job, the reputation, and any external thing is not God. The true I am, the true source consciousness within you, is God. Climb the pyramid to higher consciousness and purify yourself of these external factors. And in this state is when the mind can create efficiently. Black Friday sale, use code GIFT. The Olympic ceremony mocks the Last Supper. After their mocking, everything went down in a power outage. The only thing that remained is this lit up church. Everyone now thinks that Jesus is speaking and now coming back. But this is just another psyop. Bible even says God's kingdom is in heaven, and then says the kingdom of God is within you, which means heaven and the kingdom of God is a state of mind and consciousness. There is no man in the sky going to save you. God's power of transmuting thought into physical reality is inside of you. The Olympic ceremony was just another psyop to push religion onto the masses so that you externalize your creative power of God. Everything you see physical is an effect of a thought. Everything began as a thought in the divine mind. Therefore, you are a thought in the mind of God, and you yourself possess a microcosm of the mind of God. Every thought you've had in the past has led you to this very point. Therefore, your external world is a projection from the mind. Don't fall for religion. The only religion is within you, and God is inside of you, people. Water is emotion. Jesus never turned water into wine. He transmuted negative emotion to a positive emotion. Water into wine. It's a parable talking about purifying your internal state and raising your frequency. A sin is not an act, it's an emotion. An emotion that stops you from reaching the highest states of consciousness. 7 deadly sins are internal states that lower your frequency. Baptism is a lie. The 4 elements correspond with your state of consciousness. Pouring water on your head, you moved from the earth element, the lowest state of consciousness, into the water, which is the purification of one's consciousness. Water symbolizes the first stage of awakening and the purification process. Then fire represents your full transformative awakening. Air represents communication and the mental aspect of your consciousness. And spirit is the highest state. Most people are operating on the surface level of their consciousness. You are consciousness. Your body is not you. There is a battle between your consciousness and your body, the flesh and God. You must crucify yourself and sacrifice yourself by giving up your ego and fleshly desire to God. 5 wounds on the cross are the 5 senses. You must give up material desire to your consciousness to be born again. Ethereal University will give you long-form lectures, plus a library filled with occult books. What you are seeing here is how music is a form of magic. This is the effect of vibration and frequency being played into some form of liquid. 80% of your body is water, which is a liquid. Any form of music can influence your thoughts and emotions and your intent. That's why in Islam it's haram. Your life is an externalization of your mind. Music is hypnosis, putting you in a hypnotic trance, making you move, feel different emotions and think different thoughts, contributing towards shaping and molding your mind, which then ends up in shaping your external reality. Programs the storehouse of your mind, the subconscious. This is why you remember the lyrics so vividly. The feeling of nostalgia when listening to an old song is a form of a memory loop. Modern day music is a form of propaganda, which is molding the minds of society. This is a war, but the battlefield is in the mind. The mind is the most powerful tool that you've been given. There is nothing that you can't think of because there are infinite possibilities with the mind. Protect your mind at all costs. What you are seeing here is the magnetic power of fire. Every one of these candles represents you, an electromagnetic machine. Your magnetic emotions influence your environment. Strong magnetic charges like attractiveness, charisma, and confidence are felt. Weak magnetic charges are also felt, such as stress, anxiety, fear. Your heart is emanating and radiating your emotions. Your heart is also a receiver of energy. This is why you can feel other people's energy. You can feel their vibe, their vibration. You know if someone is a bad influence or not just by being in their presence. So the word of the day is work on your inner self and you will become a highly magnetic being. Kim Kardashian for Halloween wore a reptilian outfit. Many people are saying this is her true form. Maybe she is a reptilian. This looks very realistic. However, reptilians do not exist. There is a region within the human brain that is called the brainstem, which is also known as the reptilian brain. You use this part of the brain when you are in a survival state, fight or flight, eating and breathing. Essentially, this part of the brain does not think. It's always scanning the environment for food, threats, or even reproduction. This aspect of our brain is the lower mind, our animal self. Reptilians do not exist. Reptilians do not rule the world. But the reptilian brain at this moment in time is conquering human consciousness as a collective. Modern society only thinks about reproduction, food, and surviving. We are all stuck in fear and using this part of our brain. Get busy with the Wizzy, with the Book of Wisdom, Volume 2. It's a soul system, not a solar system. You started in the stars and you entered the heart of the soul system, which rearranged spells Earth. You took on the 7 energies of consciousness, the 7 planets. That's why you have 7 chakras and the 7 days of creation. You started in the stars. That's why you are a star, a cis star, monstar, fraud star. That's why we need to reach for the stars and ascend to our astral body. Our astral body is the star body, the celestial body. You descended from spirit to matter, from the stars to the earth, and turned into the Anunnaki. Anu, the sky god, represents spirit. Ki, the god of the earth, represents matter. Together they gave birth to the Anunnaki. Anu and Ki, spirit and matter. You are the Anunnaki. You incarnated into a specific unique time and place of the planets and the stars, which imprinted a specific energy in you. This is why stars. This is why you have a midlife crisis at 33. Because Saturn takes 33 years to go around the zodiac. Saturn is in the exact same position from when you were born at age 33. And Saturn is the aspect of your consciousness that limits you and makes you learn. This book has changed thousands of people's lives. Black Friday sale, 40% off. Use the code GIFT. The real music is nature, because all sounds originate from the real reality. What if I told you we are not supposed to listen to chorus and repetitive beats? Nature has no chorus, everything is evoluting and changing. Listening to repetitive beats creates a trance and thought loops within our minds, putting you in a hypnotic state.
It's in my brain. Do you know that? It's living rent free. I can't get it out. You did that.
Yeah, it's hypnosis.
Music is a form of magic. You need to be aware of this stuff. Freemasons use this symbol, which is the same symbol for Apple Store, and X when it's mirrored. This symbol is a compass on top and a square below. The square creates a square which has beginning and an end. The compass creates a circle which has no beginning and no end. If the compass is the circle, which means spirit, and square is the square, which is matter, this symbolizes spirit over matter, the compass over the square. Leonardo da Vinci was showing you that you are a spiritual being in a material body. You are an individual. You have a physical body and a non-physical body. The voice in your head and the emotions you feel are eternal, but your physical body will die. The spiritual brain is the mind. The spiritual heart is the soul. The brain and heart are physical manifestations of the mind and soul. The aim is to climb the pyramid to higher consciousness, to your true spirit self, so that you can be spirit over matter and not matter over spirit. They show you these symbols in plain sight. These people are highly enlightened individuals. You will never have power if you don't have knowledge. Knowledge is the true currency of this life. Use code 25 off for the next 12 hours. After 12 hours, it will be going down to 15% off. Lucifer is Venus. Lucifer in the Bible is the son of the morning, or the morning star. Just before the sunrise every morning, Venus shows up. Venus is the morning star. The 7 planets are 7 spiritual forces that create the physical universe. Saturn rules the roots. The sun rules the stem. Jupiter rules the fruit. Mercury's the messenger, the intelligence behind the tree. The moon governs the leaves. And Venus governs the beauty, the looks, and the smell of the tree. That's why the sigil of Lucifer is the visual field, because Lucifer or Venus governs the visual aspect of reality. That's why he's known as the light bearer or the false light. Because this world is the false reality, the false light. And the false light can trick you into materialism, pulling you away from your true spiritual form. Lucifer is a metaphor about your consciousness falling for the material plane. The physical world is a veil which can turn you evil, because you are not from here. The Matrix is keeping you in love with the material plane, which leaves you feeling soulless and empty inside. Stop chasing low-level pleasures and learn to transform yourself to find your power. Start your transformation today before the price increases for the university. Freemasons worship a secret god, and this is the name of him. I'm going to decode the symbolism so you can understand it. This represents God's consciousness, and it streams down to 4 sections for the 4 bodies of God: a lion, a bull, a man, and an eagle. These are the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac: Taurus the bull, Leo the lion, Scorpio the eagle, Aquarius the man. You see this in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. The man, the eagle, the lion, and the bull surrounding Jesus. The 4 fixed signs represent the 4 bodies of consciousness. Aquarius is an air symbol, which is the mind. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. This is God's consciousness streaming down to Yahweh. Yahweh, the name of God, means I am. God's consciousness goes to I am. I am goes into the 4 bodies of your consciousness: the body, the mind, the spirit, and emotion. Every single one of us are an extension of the divine presence of the universe. Jesus actually represents you, a manifestation of God's consciousness. Stop worshipping Jesus and embody his qualities into your life so you can live like God. The church has just muddled this up and created a religion so you give away your power. The secret God of the Freemasons is the self. This is why they all focus on self-mastery to achieving high states of consciousness. Turmeric was made to hide the truth about ginger. Ginger is the original turmeric. Turmeric is a GMO. Human body is nature. GMOs like turmeric is not nature, therefore your body will not recognize it. Body only recognizes food that is produced by the earth. Every time you eat something unnatural, it causes inflammation within the body, which then weakens the organs over time. Food is specifically designed to look like the body parts it's beneficial for. This is for the stomach. Raspberries is for the blood, this is why it's red. Blueberries is for the eyes, ears is for mushrooms, tomatoes for the heart, grapes is for the lungs, and walnuts for the brain. Your body does not recognize any of these foods because they are GMO, they're not good for you. Did you know cans are laced with a BPA plastic lining? Fragrance can be up to 10,000 toxic synthetic chemicals. Plastic chopping boards put plastic in your food, and non-stick pans are coated with Teflon, which is a lifelong chemical. Toilet paper uses chlorine to bleach the paper. You could eat the most healthiest diet in the world, but if you think and feel negative, this destroys your health. The body follows the mind. The mind is the root cause of all reality. You can think your way into illness. See no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil. Protect your mind at all costs because your life is an externalization of your mind. I've had many questions about Shilajit. I personally do not take it. If you want to learn more about health and wonder what this book is called, it's called The Human Health Guide. You can get the PDF in my bio. Jesus never existed. Jesus represents the sun with his 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs: Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, and Taurus. These are the 4 fixed signs of the zodiac, which are the 4-fold nature of a human being. Aquarius is air, which is your mind, your mental body. Scorpio is water, which is your emotional body. Taurus is earth, which is your physical body. Leo is fire, which is your spiritual body. Matthew is Aquarius, which is air, the mental body of consciousness. Matthew portrays Jesus as intellectual and communicative, which is the nature of air, your mental body. Mark is the lion, which is Leo, the fire. Gospel of Mark shows Jesus with passion and divine leadership and power. Mark depicts Jesus as the Son of God, which is spirituality and inspiration. Luke is Taurus, which is the earth element, the physical body. Luke portrays Jesus as the man, service, and compassion. Luke emphasizes Jesus' concern for physical and material needs of others. Gospel of John is Scorpio, which is water, the emotional aspect of our consciousness. John shows Jesus doing miracles and shows Jesus as intuitive and transformative. These 4 Gospels represent the 4 aspects of human consciousness. Jesus is the sun, which represents your soul. 12 disciples around the one. 12 zodiacs around the sun. These are energies of your consciousness. As within, so without. Everything outside of you is inside of you. Porn is free because you pay with your soul. Google is free because you pay with your data. When something is free, you are the product. They have two O's because they're watching your data. Your phone is a digital footprint of your mind. Every text you take, every person you call, every search that you type in is being recorded in a database. Therefore, your phone is tracking the collective minds of the masses. All of our behavior is being fed into an artificial consciousness, AI. You created AI by feeding your mind into these tracking devices. AI will control everything and make you a slave. Don't let your phone be a prison for your mind. That's why it's called a cell phone. Instead, spread the word to the world by reposting these videos that I make and earn an income from your phone. Many of my affiliates have quit their job, earning freedom, making an income from their phone. It's not about the money, it doesn't exist. It's the freedom you can gain from it and live the life that you truly want to live. Click sign up, fill in the form, download my videos, and repost the videos. I've made this program for you so you can gain freedom and so we can spread an amazing message to the world. The link is in my bio to sign up. Why is it the ancient gods all carry this bag alongside with a pine cone? Even the Pope carries a pine cone. Vatican has the pine cone with the dome. Bags are the carrier of things and they can be passed on, and it's always carried in their left hand. In the Kabbalah, the right represents wisdom, the left represents knowledge. This represents the carrier of secret knowledge of how to activate the pine cone. The left is the knowledge, the right is the applied knowledge, wisdom. Pine cones can be open or they can be closed. Pine is pin, which is the pineal gland, a spiritual gland in the brain which acts as an antenna for our consciousness. You have a physical body and a spiritual body, but most humans are stuck in their physical form. This bag is the secret knowledge of how to activate our spiritual body by activating our pineal gland, going from asleep to awakened, from darkness to the light, from hell to heaven. Pineal gland is not the third eye. Pineal gland is an antenna, a receiver of consciousness. The mind is the third eye. I have a free guide of activating the inner eye on my website. This guide contains teachings from my university. I'm looking for serious students who are interested in occult and esoteric teachings to join my community. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Matthew 21:12, Jesus went into the temple of God. Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are the temple of God? Jesus entered within himself to go to God, which is why he tells you to meditate in Luke 6:6. When thou prayest, enter in thine inner chamber, and having shut thy door, the inner chamber, the inner self. Shutting the door is taking no thought, which is exactly what Jesus says. Therefore take no thought in Matthew 6:34. He says this 5 times because you have 5 senses. You must turn off the 5 senses and take no thought. When you turn off activity, thought and emotion, you connect with pure consciousness, which allows you to meet the Lord in the air. Theologians 4:17. Earth is the body, water is emotion, fire is spirit, air is the mind. Raise yourself up to the air, enter in the mind. All your life you've been thinking. When you stop thinking, you open up other aspects of your consciousness. The church does not want you to know this, to keep your soul trapped in the physical plane. You need to go from hell to heaven, heel to head, matter to spirit. Join the university if you want to become enlightened. We have a library, manifestation course, Q&As and lectures every week. If you smoke tobacco, you're addicted to the spirit of tobacco. That spirit has control over your consciousness. Smoking is witchcraft. Every plant has a spirit, a consciousness. Burning the plant releases the essence, the spirit of that plant. Inhaling the smoke is inhaling the spirit of that plant, which is infusing that consciousness with yours and making you become high. Witchcraft is not evil. It can be used for good and bad. Smoking the devil's lettuce can be used for good and bad. You invoke the spirit of the plant. If you smoke lettuce with a bad mindset, you're invoking anxiety spirit. If you smoke with a positive, high vibrational mindset, you open your consciousness. You are the magician. You are the invoker of the spirit. Smoking plants with no self-control will invoke the spirit to control you. If you're going to smoke lettuce, use it to meditate and access deep meditation, or use it in ritual to reprogram your subconscious. Whatever you do, never smoke on a full moon, and stop using it to escape reality. Use it to open up your consciousness or to reflect on your life and access deep thought. Doing it every day will just make you lazy and you'll get nowhere in life. The link is in my bio for the free Telegram for free content. If you're using AirPods, your brain is being attacked by electromagnetic radiation. Your hair is an antenna for the nervous system, which picks up frequencies and energy. Radiation from these Bluetooth devices are destroying your nervous system. It's also destroying the energy field around your body. Every cell in your body has an electromagnetic field. All of these cells come together and form the overall electromagnetic field. Radiation from these devices are causing inflammation in cells, which then causes your field to become weaker, which then causes your body to become ill. It is said that the strength of the field is directly correlated to the health of the body. Some studies show that illness shows up in this field before it manifests in the body. Therefore, illness may not be something that we catch. It's the result of us lowering our frequency to match the frequency of illness. That's why in this book, there is a frequency for every single illness that exists. By listening to the frequency, we're healing our field, which will then heal our physical body. So to save your health and your energy field and your nervous system, use Wired as much as possible. Do you want more in-depth content about personal things and how to progress in life? Join the exclusive. Or join the other 22,000 people in my Telegram. Depression doesn't exist. You are thinking too much. You need to learn how to turn off thought by meditation. When thought is no longer present in your consciousness, depression, anxiety goes out the window. It does not exist. You rise above this. When you turn off the mind, the five senses, and emotion, other aspects of your mind and consciousness starts to open up, and this is when you can gain mystical experiences. You need to connect with the pure self. Your job, your name, your body, your worries, your money is not you. You are the I am. You need to connect with the source within you. By disconnecting all of these external factors, the true you is crying out. If you are depressed, if you are sad all the time, this is a reflection that your life is synthetic and unnatural. You need to connect with yourself. The truth about the pineal gland. It's not the third eye, it's the first eye. It is an eye. When you imagine something in your head and you see that image, that is that mind's eye seeing this image. You're a multidimensional being and your third eye has access to the astral plane. So when you imagine something in your head, you are literally creating out of astral matter. This is the dream world also. This is why your heel is hell and your head is heaven, because your head has access to the astral plane. The pineal gland has physioluminescent crystalline jagged shaped cells on it, which emits and reflects light. The more you activate your mind's eye through imagination, the lighter your mind becomes. This is why we say enlightenment. And that's why we have the Illuminati, which is illumination of the mind. It's both a material and a spiritual gland. This is why Jacob in the Bible calls the place Pineal, where he's seen God face to face. Pineal is the pineal gland of your brain. I'll be hosting a live call tomorrow in my universe. Religions were made to hide the truth about yourself. Matthew 21:12, Jesus went into the temple of God. Then it goes to say in Corinthians 3:16, do you not know that you are the temple of God? This is why the side of your head's called a temple, because the kingdom of God is within you. Christians aren't even following the word of Jesus, they're following the word of the church. Jesus tells you to meditate. When you pray, enter into the inner chamber and shut the door. The inner chamber is the inner part of your brain, your mind. Shutting the door is turning off the mind. Jesus says take no thought 5 times in Matthew chapter 6. Because you have 5 senses. Jesus is telling you to turn off the 5 senses and meditate. When you turn off the body and thought, other aspects of your consciousness can open up and connect with God. Jesus was a mystic telling you to go within yourself, not a God to worship. The church is the biggest scam. No man in the sky will ever save you. The devil does not exist. This book will literally tell you everything. Use the code WISDOM, all capital letters, for 40% off. The moon is your mind. You can use the moon to your advantage. A full moon is very powerful. There are more police calls on a full moon than any other day of the month, the moon. The moon enhances our psyche, our internal state. If you are angry and a full moon comes around, this will be enhanced. And you will become a monster, a moon star, or a lunatic. Luna is the moon. On a full moon, you should be visualizing, thinking and feeling the desired reality you want, because your intent, thoughts and emotions are more powerful on a full moon. This is why if you type in witches, they're always next to a full moon, because this is the best time to cast a spell. 28-day cycle of the moon, 28-day cycle of the menstrual cycle. It's in direct correlation with the moon. The moon governs liquids in your body. Fasting on a full moon is also very powerful because the water in your body is being pulled by the moon. That's why the tides of the ocean follow the moon. 28-day cycle, this is a month, a month. 365 days divided by 28, which is 13. There are 13 monthly cycles. Where is the missing month? We do not know what year we are truly in, people. I think they did this to stop us being in sync with the monthly cycle. What do you guys think? 13 is not unlucky, they made you scared. Jesus has 12 disciples, he is the 13th. 1 plus 3 is 4. You have a fourfold nature, a mind, spirit, emotion, and body. This is why he has 4 gospels. Mark shows Jesus as a spiritual teacher. John shows Jesus as an emotional creature, water into wine. Matthew shows Jesus as a mental body, where he's intellectual and communicative. And Luke shows Jesus as a human being, where he does physical things for other people. 13 represents human consciousness. They have demonized it. That's why the word sacred is scared rearranged. They made you scared of all the sacred symbols. Water is emotion, air is the mind, earth is the body, and fire is the spirit. The Bible is filled with metaphors, cryptograms, astrological codes, and numerological codes. Jesus never existed. He represents you. He represents God made flesh. You are an extension of God's consciousness. Watch this YouTube video to find out. Did you know your heart is not actually a pump? The heart is in the shape of a chestahedron, a 7-sided shape where all of the surface areas are the same. When placing a chestahedron in a box, it sits on an angle of 36 degrees off center. This is the same angle which the heart sits in the chest, hence why it's called a chestahedron. Placing a chestahedron in water creates a vortex in the water, and your heart tissues is in a vortex spiral. Your heart is actually one muscle but wrapped in a spiraling vortex form. This is because your heart is a vortex energy generator. Blood enters the heart and creates a vortex spiral inside of the heart. Your heart turns water in the blood into plasma, the 4th state of water, which they'll never tell you about. Plasma makes up approximately 55% of your blood. The earth is electromagnetic. The reason why heart rearranged is earth is because the heart takes the electromagnetic energy of the earth and turns this into plasma in the blood to run the physical body. Your heart is directly connected to the universe, to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. This is why we always see Jesus pointing at his heart. Your heart is inside of the chest. This is where the treasure is, inside of the heart. Your heart contains 40,000 neurons, which is the exact same cells in your brain. The heart is the emotional brain which gives you guidance. It tells you what is right and what is wrong. This is why we say follow your heart. So much more that goes into the heart. I teach everything in the new lecture in my university. The tree of knowledge of good and evil is the nervous system because it gives your soul the knowledge of good and evil. You are a soul and mind in the center of the brain. The all-seeing eye is your consciousness, your soul, because it's the observer of all things. It sees everything the mind is thinking. It sees all of the emotions you're feeling right now, and it sees with the 2 eyes. It's the all-seeing eye between the left and the right hemisphere of the brain. So basically, you are consciousness experiencing a program being ran by the central nervous system. In fact, you're not even seeing into reality. Light is sucked through the black holes of the eyes and an image is produced at the back of the brain. So everything is a projection from within yourself. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Always a trinity because you are a soul, mind, and body. Soul is the watcher. The mind is the projector, projecting the soul into different realities. And the body is the body you inhabit when you project yourself. Brahma has many different heads because the soul inhabits different bodies. The mind connecting the soul to the body. The serpent symbolizes knowledge for the mind. Matthew 6:22, the light of the body is the eye. Therefore, if thine eye be single, thy whole body should be full of light. You are the entity inside of the brain, and this entity is God. This is why the ancients always depicted God in the brain. Head is heaven, heel is hell. These are mind states which you manifest, not physical places. This PDF gets updated every month. The link is in the bio. Adam and God do not touch. Adam represents your physical avatar. God is in the brain because God is consciousness. If you look at the earth from above, you will see this pattern. You will also see it on the earth, and you will see it inside of you. This proves there is a microcosm and a macrocosm. All things are in all things. And when God said, let us make humans in our image, in our likeness, this refers to as us being a microcosm of God. Your external physical world is generated from your invisible mind. The phone, the buildings, the cars that you have were manifested from pictures within the invisible mind. You are a creator. You are a microcosm of the macrocosm. Humans possess an advanced consciousness which can take something non-physical and manifest it into a physical reality. Your invisible self is God, but you think you are the body, which is Adam, the lower self. The early Christian artwork depict God is in the brain. Heaven is upwards, which is the head. It's the top of the body. The earth represents heart. This is the midpoint between good and evil. And your heel is hell. We need to kill the lower nature of ourself and live off the higher parts of the body. When you do something wrong, you can feel it inside of you, but invisible intelligence is always guiding you, and all you have to do is reach out to God, to touch God, the invisible intelligence, and become the higher self. They keep you stuck in your left hemisphere of the brain. The right hemisphere is to do with creativity, intuition, and visualization. Instead, they want you to think logically and think in materialistic facts. The eyes are a part of the brain. They produce the visual field. The brain then creates the perception of the visual field. For example, if you're in a woods, the right hemisphere sees a holistic view of reality. It sees the woods as one entity. The left hemisphere analyzes and breaks down the perception created by the right hemisphere, meaning it's breaking down the woods into individual trees and branches. So they want you stuck in your left hemisphere so you do not see the connections between the external world and your body and your consciousness. John 21:6, cast the net onto the right hand side of the boat and you will find fish. This is symbolic for moving your perception into the right hemisphere of the brain to see a unified perception of reality, to see the links between all things. For example, how you have 5 fingers, 5 points on the body for the 5 elements. In school, you are told to think logically. You're told what to do. You cannot create. You cannot use the right hemisphere. Spotify, Apple Music, and all of the music is tuned to 440 hertz, which shuts down the right hemisphere of the brain. Your mind is not your brain. The brain's the computer. Your mind's the invisible intelligence controlling the brain. The right hemisphere controls the left eye and the left side of the body. The left hemisphere controls the right side of the body and the right eye. If you want to learn more, the link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. It will show you everything you need to know.
Cameras were used in a standard first-grade classroom, and several hyperactive children may be noted, especially the boy in the immediate foreground. 90 days after, the regular cool white fluorescent tubes were replaced with the new type full-spectrum fluorescent tubes with radiation shields. Prior to the time that this new lighting was installed, this particular boy had an extreme learning disability problem, but quickly learned to read within 90 days after the new lights were installed.
They tell you that the planets and the stars are just spinning rocks in space, when in fact they are actually lights within the firmament, which affect our consciousness. The experiment you've just seen proves that light affects our actions, thoughts, and emotions. Why do you think you feel so energetic and happy when the sun comes out? The celestial bodies govern the earth and influence consciousness. The Egyptians, Mayans, and ancient Christians all knew the power of astrology. They used astrology to foretell the future and to gain deeper connections with themselves. Why do you think Jesus has 12 disciples, 12 archangels in the book of Enoch, 12 imams of Shia? Because they all represent the 12 zodiac constellations. Even JP Morgan said that millionaires don't use astrology, billionaires do. When you are born, you are given a celestial blueprint because you were born into a specific alignment in the stars. This blueprint tells you everything about you and your future. If you want to get your most in-depth reading of 350 plus pages, the link is in the bio. Watercress is alkaline, this is natural. Wild rocket is alkaline. Cherry tomatoes on the vine, alkaline. Bell peppers are alkaline, these are natural. Chestnut mushrooms, alkaline, these grow in the wild. Potatoes are man-made GMOs, unnatural. Butternut squash is alkaline. Courgettes, alkaline. Spinach is acidic, this is unnatural. Carrots are unnatural, they are acidic. Green peas, these are unnatural, acidic. Sweet corn, unnatural, this is a GMO. Lettuce, unnatural, man-made, acidic. Dates are natural, alkaline, very good for the blood. Apples are natural, they are alkaline. It's 1 o'clock and this is the first meal of the day. Have some dates, watercress, apples,
cayenne pepper for blood circulation, sea moss for every mineral the body needs. And this is how to eat an alkaline electrical diet. The body runs off electricity, the cells need electric. This is feeding me power and electricity and getting every mineral the body needs. You don't need dead flesh for your protein. This is very good for muscles. Dates, watercress, good for detoxification. Apples, good for the digestive system and your teeth and your gum health. This is how to thrive.
Corinthians 6:19-20. Or do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit within you? Tem means a place of worship. El is an ancient Canaanite name for God. The sides of the head region are referred to as temples. The head is the temple of God. Is this why the early Christians were showing God is in the brain, touching Adam? Genesis 32:30, Jacob called the name Pineal, where he's seen God face to face, which sounds a lot like the pineal gland. Maybe this is why Luke 17:12 says the kingdom of God is within you. The power symbol upside down is the neck and the brain. Res means head, erection means sexual stimulation, resurrection is raising a sexual energy from the base of the spine up to the head, which is heaven. Heart rearranged is earth, heel is hell. Heaven, earth and hell correspond with the three higher, middle and lower brains. Jesus and Satan is an internal battle between the higher and the lower self, which was Horus and Set in the Egyptian times. Ark of the Covenant is the two angels covering, which is the two hemispheres covering the flame of the mind in the center of the brain. It is all meant to be taken internally, not externally. We need to wake up, people. Sexual energy, when saved, can be transmuted from the base of the spine to the pineal gland. They show you this truth in plain sight. Standing on the red carpet, which represents the base of the spine, the root chakra. She activates the kundalini, and this represents the spine. These two kundalini channels are connected to the pineal and pituitary gland in the brain. The kundalini then reaches the tree, which represents the brain, creating illumination. This process activates all the dormant brain cells in your brain and opens new neural pathways. Here's another one in the 2006 Olympic ceremony. Igniting the base of the spine, which is the sexual energy, and raising it up the spine to activate the flame, the brain. And this is the eternal flame, the consciousness in the brain. The Jordan River represents the spine and the brain. Santa going up and down the chimney. This is also mentioned in the Bible in John 3:14. Just as Moses lifted up the snake in the wilderness, so the Son of Man must be lifted. This is the snake raising the sun, the fire, from the base of the spine to the brain. And this is the true Antichrist, keeping the knowledge of the Christ, the oil that must be raised to the brain through the Kundalini awakening. Because they don't want us to unfold our God consciousness. We are all God in disguise. The 7 planets are gods. They are not spinning balls in space. They are lights within the firmament. The 7 planets give you the 7 days of the week, the 7 metals, the 7 chakras. Low vibrating light turns into matter, high vibrating matter turns into light. The 7 planets give their lights onto the earth and they create the 7 metals. This is why the 7 metals have the same symbols for the 7 planets. Sun gives you gold, the moon gives you silver, Saturn gives you lead. Elohim are the 7 planets. The Bible says, the Elohim, let us make humans in our image and after our likeness. The 7 energies give us 7 vices to operate in this soul system. Sun, the life giver. Mercury, the intellect. The moon, emotive. Saturn, structure and discipline. The 7 Jewish candlestick are the 7 planets. Revelation 1:20, the 7 stars are the 7 angels of the churches. Job 38:32, do you know the audience of the heavens? Can you establish their rule on the earth? The heavens rules over the earth. Judaism is the worship of Saturn. This is why they worship their god on Saturn Day. Christianity is a sun cult. This is why they worship their god on Sunday and has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs. This book's called the Book of Wisdom. The link is in the bio for the PDF or the paperback. There is worldwide shipping. Let's break down the $1 bill. The eye in the triangle. There are 4 planes of consciousness: mental, astral, etheric and physical. The etheric is the barrier between the physical and the spirit realm, symbolized as the triangle. eye symbolizes the invisible intelligence, the observing consciousness inside of the brain. Your invisible intelligence has the ability to see through the ether, the triangle, into the physical and the spirit realms. Jesus in French is I am. The letter I is the number 1, which is one line. Inside of you is your internal invisible self, your invisible intelligence where your insight is created. Our consciousness, our invisible intelligence is God. This is why the ancient Christians show God is in the middle of the brain. The body and the physical realm is split into duality, 1 and 2. But your invisible intelligence is the 1. This is why this symbol is on the $1 bill. The 1 is in between the 2. Your invisible intelligence, the I am, your consciousness, is in between the 2 hemispheres of the brain. This book is called The Book of Wisdom. There are paperbacks and PDFs available. The link is in my bio. There is worldwide shipping. Bless is be less. Be less you. When something is really good, we say that is sick. Another word for good is wicked. That's wicked. The English language is full of hidden spells. This is why we call it spelling. Because every word you say is creating torus fields, which is energy and frequency. Frequency is the only thing that can penetrate your body without your consent. You can choose what you put into your body, but you cannot choose what you hear. Every frequency you listen to and produce has an effect on your cells and electromagnetic field. And when this field becomes destroyed, your body becomes destroyed. Because energy and frequency comes before physical matter. It is the creator of physical matter. English is the most spoken language in the world. They want everyone to speak it because it's filled with double meaning words which cast hidden spells. Mourning is the feeling you feel when someone has died. Why do you think the Bible says death and life are in the power of the tongue? The brain is not your mind. The mind's the intelligence, the brain's the computer, the nervous system's the machine. Choice, program, and action. You are not the body, you are the invisible intelligence. Every thought has an emotion attached to it. Thoughts are electrical, emotions are magnetic. Your emotions are felt in the heart, and the heart produces the electromagnetic field. Your emotional state will create your vibe, and your vibe will attract your tribe. You attract whatever frequency that you operate on. Mind creates matter. The external world mirrors the state of your internal thoughts and emotions. You set your frequency with your mind, with your thoughts. This is why we call it a mindset. You've got to set your mind to the frequency of what you want. And when you become that frequency, you will attract that frequency. You right now are a result of your past thoughts. In order to change your future, you've got to change your thoughts now. Your emotions are not what you've been taught. It is energy in motion. Your emotions are not meant to be reactive. You are meant to control your emotions because they are a creational force which attracts things to you. Your emotions were given to you so that you can manipulate matter. We live in a holographic world, people. It is projected from within yourself. You change your internal world, you change your external world. If you want to learn more, the link is in the bio for the paperback book of wisdom, worldwide shipping. Your phone is a digital footprint of your mind. iPhone, you refer to yourself as I, which is the eye of consciousness, is being manifested digitally into your phone. That's why Siri rearranged is Iris, and this is your iris. Every text you send, every call that you speak, and every search that you do is being stored and being fed into an artificial consciousness called AI. Everyone in the world has manifested their invisible minds into a carbon footprint which is now created an artificial consciousness which is running off the algorithms that we have created. The more data we feed into these devices, the more advanced this artificial consciousness will come and rule humanity. The more data we feed into these devices, the more advanced this artificial consciousness will come and rule humanity. If something is free, you are the product. They all have 2 O's because they're watching you, they're collecting your data. Make sure to join my Telegram, link is in my bio. Your phone takes an infrared photo of you every 3 to 5 seconds. Your phone screens, TV screens, and computer screens all give off blue light, which creates permanent retina damage, which cannot be reversed. And this is why I use anti-blue light glasses whenever I use technology, to save my eyes and to save your brain, because whatever you see affects your whole body. The link's in my bio if you want to get these. They come in a nice little case. Porn drains your sexual energy, which is your orange chakra, and this is why it's orange. Sexual energy takes over the mind and influences your body. This is why it's the most potent emotion the human can feel. It is symbolized as the serpent tempting you to eat the fruit, because it's tempting you to release your sacred fluids. Sexual transmutation is transmuting the sexual energy into other aspects of your life. It can either be kundalini, critical thinking, or even the gym. The spine has 2 coils wrapped around it, which is the energy channels for your kundalini to go up to the brain. The resurrection of Christ is nothing but a metaphor for rise erection, rising your erection sexual energy to the pineal gland to activate 100% of our brains, to activate Christ consciousness. This is known as being born again and seeing the kingdom of God in John 3:3 for the 33 vertebrae on your spine. Your sexual fluids have a strong energy behind them, and this energy can create a whole new human being. So imagine how powerful that is if you retained it. We become mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger by holding this fluid. This is why it's free, because it makes you weak. You are the product. Snakes and ladders is truth in plain sight. Your spine is the ladder and the kundalini is the snake. The snake in the tree of knowledge of good and evil is also the kundalini in the central nervous system, the spine up to the brain. The serpent is always tempting you to release your sexual energy, because sexual energy is the most powerful and potent emotion the human can feel. So when you overcome it, you are fighting the snake, and when you retain this energy, you can then resurrect, which means rise erection, raising the erection to the brain to illuminate the pineal gland. Why do you think the word sex has the S in it, which is the serpent, the sexual essence? If you release your fluids all the time, you will become mineral deficient. Your sexual energy is the most powerful and potent energy within your body. It is your soul force. Even if you're not transmuting this energy into kundalini, you can transmute it into critical thinking or other aspects of your life. Watching them dirty websites and masturbating all the time will destroy your mental health, because in your mind you are literally that person in the corner of a room watching 2 people have pleasure. What you do in your alone time will manifest into light into other aspects of your life. This is why you will not be confident, you will not radiate, because you know what you are doing on a deep level on your own, and you know it's disgusting. Spirituality is a psyop, people. It's all about your mind. It's about transmuting all the negative aspects of your mind into positive. When you change your mind, you change your body, your life, and your spirit. Stop listening to music. It's bad because it reprograms your subconscious mind by putting you in a hypnotic state. You want to dance or do something when you listen to music because it puts you in hypnosis. You remember the lyrics so vividly because it rewrites your subconscious mind. Every word they are saying in the song is molding and shaping your mind in some form or way. Why do you think you want to hurt someone when you listen to drill music, or want to dance hard when you listen to techno? When you listen to music, you literally cannot think because it's putting you in hypnosis. Spotify and Apple Music are all tuned to 440 Hz, which shuts down the right hemisphere of your brain because they do not want you thinking creatively or intuitionally. Music creates thought loops within your mind. This is why you feel nostalgia when you listen to an old song you used to listen when you were a child. The repetitive music and beats creates thought loops in your mind. In nature, nothing is repeating. Everything is constantly transforming. It's the same with your mind. Your mind should be constantly transforming to bigger and better things. Listen to music in 432 Hz or 528 Hz and make sure it has no demonic lyrics and no repetitive. My new favorite thing to do is to show you how powerful you are. We are intelligently designed. The eyes contain 137 million cells within 1 square inch in the retina. To put this into perspective, this is 1 million dots and this is 1 square inch, and this is your retina. Your retina consists of 137 million cells. They say this is because of evolution, which is just another theory created by Charles Darwin, a Freemason. Everything physical you see comes from the invisible. Everything you see in the physical plane was manifested by the mind. The phone that you are holding was an idea in someone's mind before they manifested it physically. So therefore, the whole physical world that you see exists within the mind of God. Essentially, we are all existing in the mind of God, and we are all God fractured into separate bodies. This is why Michelangelo painted God within the brain, because the pineal gland is the connection to the mind, which is the divine or God. And one more thing before you go, if you don't believe in God, then you are delusional, because this painting was painted by a painter.
Therefore, this physical world was manifested from the mind of God, and we are a microcosm of that mind, and we can use our minds to create things within God's creation. We are made in His image. We are a fracture. If you believe in evolution and know God, debate me.
You descended from spirit to matter. Now you need to climb the stairway to heaven, which is your spine, and go from matter to spirit. The chakras are not what you think. They are 7 vortexes which our consciousness feeds energy into our physical body. You have a mental, astral, etheric, and physical body. They exist within the etheric plane, which binds your spirit to your physical form. Hence why in the Bible they are known as the 7 seals. It states the Lamb is worthy of opening the 7th seal, because the Lamb is Aries, and Aries rules the head region to open the 7th seal, the 7th chakra. They're called the 7 seals because they seal your invisible consciousness. Heaven is even. This is why Jesus is pointed at the heart chakra, which is the balance point. When your vortexes are balanced, you have a deeper connection with your universal intelligence. Your higher self will have an easier job manifesting itself throughout the body. The world is stuck in the lower 3 energy centers, lust, food, and power. Instead, we want to aim to use the higher parts of the body, expression, intuition, and wisdom. Words are secretly encoded, and they cast spells on your subconscious mind because your subconscious mind takes everything you say as diet has the word die because the food they tell you to eat nowadays makes you sick. Meat has the word eat, which is a subconscious spell for you to consume blood and flesh because consuming this food keeps you stuck in 3rd dimensional awareness in the lowest state of consciousness. Veganism is an anagram for saving me because when you stop consuming flesh, your consciousness can raise past the 3D construct. Animals are easily programmed and tamed like a pet, and this is why they want you to consume it, because you are what you eat. Your cells every 90 days turn into the food that you've consumed. This is why the population is aging at a rapid rate, because the food that we are consuming is dead. When we eat electrical live foods, we age less. Slaughter has the word laughter because they want you to laugh at the slaughtering of animals. Words create perception, and the food industry utilize more neutral words to create a better perception in your mind. Instead of saying beef flesh, they say beef mince. Or instead of saying a chicken fetus, they say egg. Or rotten cheese is milk. Heaven and hell are not places, they are mind states. Heel is hell, the root chakra, head is heaven, earth rearranged is heart. The 3 parts of the brain control the 3 sections of the body. Depending on which brain is dominant, you are either manifesting heaven or hell. If you're thinking with your gut area all the time, you are manifesting hell. The devil has goat features, which is a ground animal. The angel has wings, which is an air animal. The angel is your higher self. The devil is the lower self. Hence why the devil is red, because red is the lowest vibrational color. The devil is the deveiling, because you are mental, astral, etheric, and physical. You are deveiling yourself by sitting in the lower states of consciousness. The body does not live. It is only maintained by the consciousness that is within it. And this consciousness is either operating in hell or heaven, depending on the 3 brains that you use dominantly. You descended from spirit into matter. Now you need to go back up to your true spirit form and move up the stairway to heaven, which is your spine. They've externalized it and turned it into a religion to hide the true power of yourself. The square symbolizes the physical plane, the triangle is the etheric plane, and the circle is the eternal plane. You need to think outside the box. The box is the cross unfolded, the cube, the physical world. The Christians believe 144,000 will go to heaven. This is actually a frequency you need to achieve to go from the root to the crown chakra, because your head is heaven and your heel is hell. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom PDF. What you will see here is the etheric energy blueprint behind an object. Even though a section have been cut off, the energy body is still present. This is why when people lose their limbs, they can still feel it present, because the etheric body can never be broken. This proves that we are not the body. You are the spirit inside of the body. If you don't believe me, you can literally do this exercise yourself to activate your bodies. This is called astral projection. It's using your mind to project your consciousness into the astral plane, the realm of imagination. This was talked about in the Bible when Jesus walks on water. It's a metaphor for astral projection. The water is the ether, the barrier between the physical and the spiritual planes. Before you do this, you need to make sure you're in a good, high vibrational mindset. Whatever frequency you are vibrating on, you will match
match within the astral planes. For example, if you are vibrating very low, you will meet beings, entities that are vibrating very low. This is what we call demons. Once you are in the right mindset, you need to lie down flat with no body parts touching. Rest every single muscle and be still as possible. Close your eyes, breathe deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Focus your attention on the center of the brain, the place of the consciousness. You need to do this for at least 10 to 15 minutes until you are just left with an empty mind. Now you want to use your mind to imagine yourself pulling a rope up into the sky. Imagine yourself floating above your body. One thing that you must never do if you do successfully astral project is never look into the mirrors.
Jesus' death on a cross is metaphorical for us falling from the higher planes of consciousness into a material plane. We sacrificed all of the higher planes of consciousness only to experience the thin visible spectrum of light. This is the first dimension, the second dimension, and the third, length, height, and width. The cube is what gives birth to the material plane. So we are in the cube. This is up, down, front, back, left and right. This is why the Jews wear the cube and the Mecca cube, and there are cubes all around the world. Cube unfolded is the cross, which is the Jesus cross, the body, because our consciousness died when it came here because we suffered a loss of the higher planes of consciousness. The universe is created out of light. Low vibrating light turns into matter. High vibrating matter turns back into light. We are human. Hu means light. Man is manifested. We are light manifested into matter. The Bible says we're born into sin. Sin is sign, which is time, because we're born into a material plane where time exists. However, the elites worship the material world. They want to rule the material world and keep your mind stuck in third dimensional awareness. This is why they teach you this and evolution. And this is why they give you the false atom. They've trapped your mind in materialism because they've taught you that the universe is only physical. You are not the body, you're the invisible intelligence. If you shut your eyes, you can feel your awareness in the center of the brain. You refer to this being as I. The letter I and the number 1 is one line. Because there is only one, and we are all the one expressed in different bodies. The Egyptians knew this. This is the one giving out the Ankh to all the different life forms. This is why 1 is the only true number. Everything goes up in ones. You look with the 2 eyes, and you see with the inner eye your invisible intelligence. Because the inner eye gives you the perception of what you're looking at. Everything is neutral. Everything is one. It's your mind's perception that gives it a positive or negative charge. Me and you are the exact same consciousness. Why do you think the golden rule is to treat others like you want to be treated? We are all mind. Men means mind in Latin. Jesus was known as the fisher of men. He wasn't fishing men, he was fishing minds. Bright minds that are worthy of knowing the truth. God exists within the highest realm of your being, your mind. If you constantly listen to your God intelligence, which is always telling you the right thing to do, this is how to become closer to God. You need to stop living off the body's desire and turn to the higher self, the higher realms of your mind. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom, paperback and PDF. Jesus never existed. Jesus symbolizes the sun, with his 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs, 4 gospels for the 4 seasons of the sun. That's why he's called the risen savior, the light of the world, the Son of God. 7 days, 7 planets. They worship their God on Sunday because Jesus is the sun. Easter is actually called the Passover because this is when the sun passes the winter and enters Aries, when the sun springs things back into life, the summer. And this is when they eat lamb, because lamb is Aries, the ram. The sun dies on the Southern Crux constellation, the cross, every year on the 22nd of December. On the 25th of December, it is born again, every year, because it moves 1 degree northward, bringing back the sun to the northern hemisphere. Jesus, the Son, was born a virgin every year, and this is why we celebrate Christmas. Horus, the Egyptian sun god, 12 disciples, born on the 25th, dead for 3 days and resurrected, did miracles and born a virgin. Same with Mithra. Judas stabs Jesus in the back and betrays him. The constellation Scorpio is a J for Judas, and when the sun hits Scorpio, this means the sun is now entering the winter, meaning it's going to die and become dead. So it's betrayed by the Scorpio, the constellation J. Here's Jesus walking on water. It's the sun.